Hello. I wanted to get on camera really quick while I had these thoughts fresh in my brain, but I want to share a very short list of things that I've done that made me much happier. Sometimes I have these moments where I sit around my house and I think. A lot of the things that I think about have been helpful to me, and I might not be near my notebook to write them down, and I obviously don't record them, so this time I wanted to get it on camera while it was still fresh in my head. I was in this small situation where something happened and I realized that it was something that I would normally react to, but I didn't. So it brought me to number one on the list, and I wrote, quit guessing what I did and wondering what happened, and start looking at things for what they are. In the past, there had been a number of situations that caused me to guess and wonder and overthink, and being in a position to have to guess what's going on or overthink about what this situation is, it's so stressful and it's draining. A job that I worked at many years ago, my first week working there, everything was going fine the first few days, but by the end of the week, I started to feel like everyone's attitude toward me changed, and I didn't understand why. And I asked everybody individually if there was something that I did wrong, or if there's something going on that I don't know about. Just wanting to be informed so that I can either stand clear of the issue, or if I have anything to do with it, try and solve the problem. But everyone says that everything's fine as usual, but then they continue to act weird. I would always go home with work still on my mind and backtracking and analyzing everything that everybody was doing and just constantly thinking about why. Then I start to think about what kind of person I am at work. Then it caused me to have to watch what I say. It just felt like I was walking on eggshells. I realized that I was creating this really toxic environment for myself because I just didn't want to feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to feel what they were giving me. That turned into more than a work thing. It turned into a friendship thing and a relationship thing and a family thing. I just found myself constantly trying to people please and make sure that I was never the reason for an issue. I got so tired of it. I got so tired of feeling weighed down by these things, and that's when I came up with number one on the list. I decided that I didn't want to put myself in those situations anymore. Whenever I was able to identify when that was happening to me again, I did not engage. I didn't give it any of my attention or my energy. Either I quit asking what I did, or I might ask once and then leave it alone after that. And when I learned how to do that, I became so much happier. I didn't feel the weight of what other people were trying to give me. I didn't feel overwhelmed with thoughts when I got home, or it's just not a thing that I'm interested in anymore. So the next thing on my list is let go of the look what I can do attitude and start doing things for myself with love. Let me explain. When I say let go of the look what I can do attitude, I'm speaking specifically about the child in me that didn't get any attention growing up. And because of that, I naturally want to be a people pleaser. I feel like the things that I'm good at need to be validated. It's like a kid who, wrote their name for the first time and they want to show everybody the good work that they did, and now they want a gold star for it. It's similar to that. Just in adult form. For a long time, I didn't notice that I was like that. I didn't notice that that's what I was doing. So when I realized, I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. Mind you, it's nothing to be ashamed of because it happens, and you can't control, what happened to you when you were a child. So once you identify that this is what you're doing, I think you should definitely learn some things or do something to try to change that. So some examples of that is I would post something on Instagram and I would go back like every few minutes to check who liked my photo, who's sharing my stuff. Like, it's so embarrassing to talk about this, but I didn't like it. It felt heavy. It felt like I was a kid in the middle of the room having a tantrum because nobody liked my picture. How, right? How was I able to let go of that? I stepped back from creating, and I had to really dig deep and remind myself why I want to create in the first place. When I started out many years ago, I would just be at home recording myself doing the most silliest things, and I really love doing that. I really just enjoy before I run out of storage again. The next thing on my list is let go of the need to keep up with the trends. Self-explanatory, right? It's a burden. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with the trends. And as a content creator, you want to be seen. When I stopped trying to keep up with the trends, I just realized that I had so much more time on my hand. I had so much more money in my bank account. It's just a good feeling. Like, you don't have to spend your time looking at what's trending and trying to emulate that or trying to create something better, when you can just be yourself and things will come naturally. Just doing things for yourself and being who you are it usually turns out to be the better option. And the last thing on my list, I did say it was a short list, going the extra mile to make a great first impression. Now, there are a lot of opinions around this one, right? Because a lot of people think that the first impression is everything. So what we naturally do is we add a little extra glitter to make that great first impression. And a lot of the time we succeed. We make a great first impression and then we can't keep up with that. We can't keep up with who we decided to present as that day. So then everything just eventually falls apart. I was raised to make a great first impression, whether it was at a job interview or meeting people for the first time. And so I took that literally. I wanted to do things to make people like me. When I became comfortable with who I am, I really started to see how silly it was to go the extra mile to make this first impression. If you show up as who you are and it's not good enough for them, then I'm sure you've heard this before, move on. They don't deserve you. And that's true. Move on, because they don't deserve you. You yourself are the great first impression. That's my small list of things that I have done that made me much happier. And I wanted to share that with you because I just feel like there are people out there who need it. I post a lot of inspiring content on my Instagram. So if you like this video, I highly suggest that you subscribe, number one, but also follow me on Instagram. I share everything that I've learned. It's just really, it's a really fresh environment. If you need some inspiration, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, y'all.